Welcome to Speak English Podcast with Rory and Alex.
You know that feeling, right? That specific nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
You're in a conversation, maybe it's in a second language, maybe you're just nervous, and your brain just, it feels like it's been replaced by a dial-up modem.
The spinning wheel of death in your head.
Exactly. You know the words, you've done the drills, but the second you open your mouth, you sound like a textbook from 1995.
Or, and I think this is even more common, you just freeze up.
Mm-hmm.
You just smile and nod and hope they didn't just ask if your house was on fire.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what they said.
We have all been there. It is that huge anxiety of wanting to connect, but feeling like there's this, glass wall of proper English in the way.
Yeah.
But today we are taking a sledgehammer to that wall. Welcome to the deep dive. We are unpacking a stack of sources that are basically cheat codes for real-life English conversation.
And what I find so compelling about these sources, and they range from, like, Speak English with Rory to guides on social grace, is that they aren't actually about grammar.
Right.
They're about social dynamics.
Because I think most of us, we assume the goal is to be perfect, to get that 100% on the test.
And all the sources argue that's the wrong target. Completely.
Mm-hmm.
The whole philosophy is connection, not perfection.
Connection, not perfection.
It's a total mindset shift. The phrases real people use, they're designed to just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
People really don't care if you dangle a participle.
Yeah.
They just care that you're trying to engage with them.
Which is a huge relief, honestly, because perfection is just, it's paralyzing.
It is.
So today we're handing over these cheat codes. We're going to cover how to save yourself when you don't understand, the minefield of greetings, and even how to give a compliment that actually lands.
Think of it as a toolkit for social intelligence.
Yeah.
It's just disguised as a language lesson.
I love that. Okay, let's start with the panic moments, the communication gaps. Someone's talking too fast or there's noise in the background and your brain just goes blank. The sources highlight one word as the ultimate lifesaver here, and that word is catch.
Catch. It's so simple, but the psychology behind it is fascinating. The phrase is, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that."
Okay, so let's pause on that. Why is "I didn't catch that" so much better than just, "I don't understand"?
It's a crucial distinction. When you say, "I don't understand," you're framing it as an intellectual failure.
Right. My brain failed.
Exactly. It feels heavy. It feels like you have a deficit.
It feels like I'm not smart enough for this conversation.
Yes. But when you say, "I didn't catch that," it's a physical metaphor. It's like someone threw a ball and it slipped through your fingers.
Oh, I see.
It frames the problem as an accident of circumstance. Maybe the sun was in your eyes. It takes all the shame out of it.
That is such a subtle, but wow, a massive shift. So the blame is on the situation, not on you.
Exactly. It keeps the status between you and the other person equal.
Now, what if you just need them to say it again? The standard is, could you repeat that? But that can sound a little stiff.
It does. It can create distance. With friends, the sources suggest you just strip it down. Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, what was that?
It's quick, it's friendly, it doesn't stop the whole flow of the conversation.
Okay, what about speed? This is my personal nemesis. Sometimes I can hear the words, I can catch them, but they are just coming at me like a machine gun.
Right.
And it feels so embarrassing to ask someone to slow down.
It can be.
Yeah.
Now, you can be direct and say, "Could you please speak more slowly?" But the sources suggest a better way, a more vulnerable way.
Okay.
Say, "I'm sorry, could you slow down a bit? I'm still learning English."
Playing the learner card.
It's not a card if it's true, but here's why it works. Most people, they're not judging you. They're just not aware of their own speed.
Right, they're on autopilot.
Yes. So when you admit, "I'm still learning," you turn them from an adversary into a helper.
That makes so much sense. You trigger their empathy. They go from, why is this person staring at me, to, oh, let me help them.
Precisely. And they'll naturally slow down without you having to ask again.
Okay, one more save me situation. What if you heard the words, the speed was fine, but the meaning is just, it's gibberish, you're lost.
Right. This is for deep clarification. If you just ask them to repeat it, they'll say the same confusing thing, just louder.
Yeah, that doesn't help. I said, the flow Wex capacitor, thanks.
Exactly. So you have to guide them. You say, "I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you explain that again?" Or, even better,
What?
get specific. "Could you explain the part about the schedule again?"
Oh, I like that. Explain the part about, because it shows you were listening to the rest.
Yes. It says, "I'm with you. I just got snagged on this one little thing."
Yeah.
It validates them.
Okay, so we've survived the mid-conversation panic. Let's rewind to the beginning. The greeting. I have to admit, I saw this in the outline and thought, do we really need a guide on saying hello? But then I read about the meet versus see trap.
It's a classic.
And I think I've probably insulted half the people I've met.
You're not alone. It trips up so many people. Because in a lot of other languages, the word is the same, whether you know the person or not. English has this really strict divide.
Okay, lay it out for us.
You say, nice to meet you, only the very first time you were introduced to a person. That's it.
One-time use only. A disposable phrase.
Correct. If you've met them before, even once, 5 years ago, you must say, nice to see you.
So if I run into someone I met last week and I say, hey, nice to meet you, what am I really saying?
You're basically saying, you made absolutely zero impression on me. I have deleted you from my memory.
Ouch, that's an accidental insult.
A huge one. Nice to see you acknowledges your shared history. It says, I remember you. It builds the relationship.
Okay, sticking with memory failure. Names. I'm awful with names. Someone says, hi, I'm Sarah, and 2 seconds later, it's just gone.
Happens to everyone. The key is to tackle it immediately. Don't wait. Use that catchphrase again.
Ow!
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Could you tell me again?
And then once they say Sarah again.
Here's the hack. Use the name immediately in your response. Don't just nod. Say, nice to meet you, Sarah.
Ah, nice to meet you, Sarah.
Saying it out loud creates this little auditory loop in your brain that helps lock it in. Plus, people love hearing their own name. Just warms up the whole interaction.
That is a great tip. Let's move on to the gratitude loop. We all know how to say thank you, but the sources say thanks can feel a bit transactional.
Right, like you're just buying a coffee. To build a connection, you need to add a little warmth.
So instead of just thanks,
elongate it. Thank you so much. Or the really powerful one is, I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. It hits different. It's not about the thing. It's about the person's effort.
Exactly. It validates them. But this is where it gets tricky. There's a big cultural pitfall when you receive thanks.
Oh, this one is a logic puzzle.
If someone says thank you, you cannot say no thank you back.
Right. Because in some cultures, that's a way of being humble. Like, oh, no, it was nothing. But in English,
if I say thanks for the gift and you say no thank you, it sounds like you're refusing my thanks. It's confusing. It breaks the loop.
So what's the fix?
Well, the classic is you're welcome. But to sound more modern and friendly, especially in the US or UK, you'd say no problem or no worries.
No worries is my go-to. It just feels so chill. Like my help cost me nothing.
That's it. And if you really want to signal you're an ally, that you're happy to help again, the pro move is to say,
what's that?
Anytime.
Anytime. Oh, that is smooth. It's like my door is always open. That is pure connection.
Turns a one-time favor into a reliable relationship.
Okay, so making plans with people. This is where I think a lot of us accidentally sound like dictators.
Yes, the issue of agency. You can't just say, we will meet at 3 p.m. That's an order.
So how do you propose a plan without sounding like a drill sergeant?
You soften it. You propose the idea, but signal they have veto power. The phrases, how about, or what about, are perfect.
So how about we meet at 3?
Yes, it's a question, not a statement. It invites them to collaborate. Or, to be even more open, you can use, would you like to?
Would you like to grab coffee?
It puts the ball entirely in their court. It reduces the social pressure, which, ironically makes them more likely to say yes.
What if I have a strong preference? The sources talk about the difference between prefer and rather.
Yeah, this is a great nuance. I'd prefer to is your standard professional choice. I'd prefer to meet in the morning.
Okay, I'd rather.
Is a bit stronger. You often use it to reject an alternative. So if someone says, want to go to that loud club, you could say, oof, I'd rather stay home.
It's a polite absolutely not to the first option.
Exactly. It asserts your preference without being aggressive.
Speaking of asserting yourself, interruptions. I am so bad at this. 2 people are talking and I need to ask something and I just sort of hover nearby.
The awkward hover. It's a classic. But you don't need it. You just need the Swiss Army knife of social phrases. Excuse me.
But you can't just barge in yelling, excuse me.
No. Tone is everything. You say it softly. Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt, but that little addition, sorry to interrupt, is the key. It buys you grace.
It shows respect.
Right. Now, once you have their attention, you often need help. Can you help me? Is fine. But we can level up.
How?
In a professional setting, just swap help for assist. Could you assist me? It sounds more competent.
But there's one phrase the sources call the gold standard of politeness. The mind trick.
Yeah, yes. Would you mind? Followed by a verb with ing. Would you mind closing the window?
Why is that so polite?
Because you're not actually asking them to do the task. You're asking if the task would bother them. Would you mind? Literally means, would this cause you a problem?
It shows extreme consideration. Okay, but wait, we have to talk about the answer trap here. This is so confusing.
It's the ultimate linguistic trap.
Mm-hmm.
Because the question is, would it bother you?
Yeah.
If you're happy to do it, the correct answer is no.
Right. If I say, would you mind opening the window? And you say, yes, you mean, yes, it would bother me. I won't do it.
Exactly. So if you agree, you have to say no, not at all, or no problem.
A double negative, that means a positive. English is wild.
It is, but if you master that no, not at all, you sound incredibly fluent.
Okay, let's pivot to positivity. The sources say English speakers. We love giving compliments. It's how we build rapport.
It is. But there's a huge rule here. Do not just say, good job.
Yeah, good job can feel like you're talking to a dog. Who's a good boy?
Exactly. It could be patronizing. Specificity is the key. Don't just praise the result, praise the process.
So instead of good job,
try, you did a great job on that presentation. I love the way you explained the data.
That proves you were actually listening.
It validates the person. And then there's the flip side, accepting a compliment.
Oh, I'm so guilty of this. Someone says, you look great, and my first instinct is to say, oh, this old thing, I haven't slept in days.
The sources say that's a big no-no. You think you're being humble, but you're actually rejecting their gift. It makes them feel awkward.
So you just take it.
You own it. A simple, thank you, I appreciate that. It shows confidence, and it lets the other person feel good for making you feel good.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Simple. Okay, finally, offering help.
The general warm offer is, let me know if you need anything. It's open, no pressure.
But if I see someone physically dropping boxes, let me know, feels a little passive.
Right. In that case, you have to be specific and proactive. Would you like me to help you carry those bags?
It just cuts through any hesitation.
And that really brings us back to the core message of all this research.
Yeah.
All of these phrases, they're not just about information.
Right. They're about signaling safety. Signaling, I'm here, I'm trying, I value this interaction.
Exactly. The grammar doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
If you use would you mind or I really appreciate it, you're using the language of connection. You're showing you get the social dance.
So let's just quickly recap the toolkit. We've got the save me phrases. I didn't catch that.
Remember, it's a dropped ball, not a failed brain.
Right. And nice to see you for anyone you've met before. Don't erase them from existence.
We have gratitude upgrades. I really appreciate it. And the pro move, anytime.
The politeness strategies like would you mind?
Remembering that no means yes.
And the positivity of specific compliments and just owning it when you get one.
It's a really solid list.
It is. And it might feel like a lot, but just remember the main idea. Connection over perfection.
I would say just pick one or two of these. Maybe this week, just try saying, I really appreciate it instead of thanks. And just watch people's faces.
Or try the mind trick, would you mind? And see what happens.
Just trying them builds confidence. And confidence leads to more connection.
It really does. You know, we spend all this time worrying about, like, the subjunctive tense or whatever. But these little phrases,
Oh, yeah.
they're the oil that makes the whole social machine run.
And if you really think about it, how many missed opportunities have we all had? Moments where we could have made a friend or impressed a boss. But we didn't speak up because we were afraid of making some tiny mistake.
That's the question to leave you with. If the goal is connection, not perfection, what are you waiting for? It's time to speak up.
Absolutely.
Thanks for diving in with us. Go out there and make some connections. We'll see you next time.